Today, let's talk about pet doors. Hey folks, it's Adam with Outdoor Pet Solutions, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about pet doors. On this channel, I've talked a lot about underground and visible dog fencing, and that the quality of product that you invest in when you install one of those fence systems means a lot in the longevity of the system and eliminating any issues down the road. Pet doors are no different. If you invest in a quality pet door, you will have the best energy efficiency that the pet doors have to offer, as well as a long-lasting product that your dog can use for years and years and years, and you don't have to worry about it. I install pet doors along with invisible fencing. And this time of year, when the temps begin to drop, that's when folks start thinking about pet doors because they don't want to constantly open the door all winter long, letting the dog out while letting the blast of cold air in. So to prevent that, they start looking at pet door options. There are a lot of different options out on the market. You can order off of eBay, Amazon, you can run up to Lowe's and Home Depot and pick up a pet door. But the quality of the pet doors typically are not very good. There are a couple of main players out there that deliver a high quality pet door. And those are the pet doors that I install. A lot of times folks will reach out to me asking me to install something they picked up at a local pet store, and I typically will not do that. And the reason is because they will not be happy with that purchase. I have installed a lot of different pet doors over the years until I figured it out that a quality pet door means a lot. Because most of the pet doors on the market, they're made of plastic components. The frames are plastic. There's one single flap with a magnet at the bottom holding it in place. And drafts and things are easily felt through those types of doors. And the plastic components typically turn yellow and they begin to become very brittle and they fall apart over time. So getting a pet door that offers a dual flap system, as well as the frame being made out of a high grade metal material, that will last you the longest. And the pet doors that I install, all the components are replaceable. So the flaps to the weather stripping to even the magnets that are embedded in the frame, those are all replaceable. So often, after about 10 years or so, customers will reach out saying, hey, the pet door's still working great, but it looks a little wore out. And I'll come out and I'll replace all those components. With those lower end pet doors that are made out of the plastic components that are mass produced overseas, those types of pet doors won't last but just a couple of years. And then you won't be able to replace the major components such as the flaps and the weather stripping and the magnets. You'll end up having to just throw away the whole pet door and install a whole new one. So by the time you do that a couple of times, you're going to end up paying the same amount that you would have for a really good pet door that you won't feel any hot or cold coming through and will last you for many, many years. I'll put a link down in the description where you can check out those various pet doors that I offer. And then if you wanted to order one yourself, there's one particular line that I like to ship out to my customers. It's an easy pet door to install and it offers all of those high-end components so it'll last a long time. There are a few videos on my YouTube channel showing me installing these various pet doors through walls and doors. Be sure to check those out as well. They are time-lapse videos. They're not exactly how-to. I will be putting out some how-to videos, but for the time being, you'll be able to use the easy-to-follow instructions that come with the pet door. When it comes to high-end pet doors and the ones that I offer, believe it or not, there's 11 different sizes to choose from. And the reason is because small, medium, large doesn't always fit your dog. When you go to a pet store or you order online, they're gonna have 2 or 3 different sizes, and that's it. And typically you're gonna be installing a pet door that's either way too big or could be too small. So how do you know what size pet door that you need to install? Well, I've got a formula on my website that you can check out that'll walk you through how to measure your dog. There's 3 different measurements that you'll need. And getting these measurements can sometimes be a challenge because your dog's wiggling around, they're excited. So I'm going to walk you through right now how I measure a dog so that I order the correct size pet door. So the 11 different sizes that we offer allow you to accommodate dogs of all sizes, including the ones that are short along with the ones that are tall. And if you have 2 different size dogs in your household, you're going to want the pet door to drop down low enough for the little guy to get through, but have it high enough to where the taller dog doesn't have to bend down or crawl through that door. Because as larger dogs age, their joints become very stiff. You want the pet door to cater to your dog for their whole life. So getting the proper size door is very important. Now I'm going to walk you through exactly how to measure your dog and some tricks that I use to get those measurements. This is Savannah. She's a couple years old and she's a purebred Shih Tzu. She is my personal dog. We're going to use her today to show you how to properly measure your dog for a pet door. The things you need to consider are the overall height, the step through, and the width. So what I mean by that is you have her overall height, which is up to her back. So her back is what we're concerned about, not her head. You don't want to include her head in this overall measurement. Hey girl, you're gonna have to work with me here. Okay. So when you're measuring your dog, you need them in a standing position. Oftentimes your dog may be unfamiliar with the measuring tape and it's a little intimidating and it makes some goofy noises as it rattles. So have them smell it, pet them, reassure them that the measuring tape is okay. So the first measurement I like to get is their overall height. So you'll measure up to their back. And in this case, right behind her head is about 12 inches tall. So once you have that measurement, you'll write it down. The next measurement that you're going to need is the step through measurement. And to get that, you're going to measure from the ground to the bottom of their chest, right underneath. And that's about 5 inches on her. So her height to her back is 12 inches. The dimension from the ground to the bottom of her chest, which is our step through measurement, is about 5 inches. Next, you need the width. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do the width, because a lot of folks will try to measure their dog. Come here, girl. A lot of folks will try to measure their dog while they're sitting down across their shoulders or their back. And a lot of times they're wiggling around and you can't get them. They're not as still as Savannah's being for us. As you can tell, she's been through this before. So I'm going to show you a trick real quick on how you can use a doorway to determine the correct size pet door width for your dog. Okay, so what I like to do is find myself a door opening. Any swinging door will do. A bedroom door, an exterior door, even a sliding glass door will work just fine. And what you're going to do is you're going to prop the door open to the width of pet door that you think your dog can go through. And so in her case, I'm assuming an 8-inch wide pet door. You can go on my website and you'll look at the pet doors and you'll see the various sizes that are available. And so just pick one that you think might work for your dog, and you'll just prop the door open using your measuring tape to that width. And then you'll call your dog through and see if they bump their hips or shoulders as they go through. If they happen to rub up against the sides of the opening, then you'll want to go to the next size up in the pet doors and measure again and allow them to come through and see if they bump their sides on that next size up. If they clear it with a lot of gap on the sides, you can go down to the next size pet door, measure the gap, and have them come through. See if that next size down can accommodate them. I'm going to go ahead and prop the door open to the 8-inch mark and call her through. So when you do this, just crack the door open, hold the measuring tape against the jamb, and put the edge of the door to the mark of the width of the passage of the pet door that you're considering. And I pull that against my foot here. That way it holds still right at 8 inches. And then I'll call Savannah through. Savannah? Come on, Savannah. Good girl. Good girl. As you can see, she cleared through with ease, with actually a lot of gap in between. So the next pet door size in the width down, I believe, goes from 8.5 to 6.5. So we're going to drop it down to the 6.5, just like that. And then we're going to call her through again. Come on, Savannah. Come here. That's a good girl. And she cleared that with very little gap on either side. that should be a very good fit for her. So those 3 measurements that you'll need for your dog, you'll need to apply those to all the dogs in your house. But keep in mind, the tallest dog, you'll need to be concerned about that tallest measurement, the height to their back, their withers, as we call it, that's right below their neck. Do not include their head, that's unnecessary. You just want to go to their back. And then the shortest dog in your house, you'll measure the step through, which is from the ground up to the bottom of their chest. See how much clearance they have at that point. And then your third measurement will be the width of your largest or widest dog out of your household. Using the door method is a nice way to accomplish that. So you'll want to take those 3 measurements that you have, considering all the dogs in your household, and you'll want to add just a couple of inches of room for them to get through. So if the height of your tallest dog is 24 inches, keep in mind you're going to want to mount the pet door a couple of inches above that measurement. So if they're 24 inches to their back, you'll want to mount the pet door 26 inches high. That way the flaps have room to bow and bend back and forth across your tallest dog's back. Then you'll want the pet door to drop down low enough for your shortest dog to get through. So take a look at all those options on the website. There's 11 different sizes, and you'll be able to pick out the pet door that's right for your dogs. So Savannah and I hope that this video helps you in measuring your dogs properly for your new pet door. And as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Can we say goodbye? Goodbye.